Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably a safe bet that President Trump would be playing golf on a Sunday. Like, I guess maybe could have been just a lucky guess. I know that Sean Hannity was invited to play with them. He said yesterday, and he decided not to because he said he's not a good enough golfer to play with President Trump, and that is too true. He's an excellent golfer. But the headlines are just pathetic today. Another assassination attempt, baseless claims about pets, and Taylor Swift. The U.S. election is wild, but does any of it matter? But as we know, this guy's a left-wing radical, and that's why everybody's trying to change lanes. He was actively trying to illegally recruit and smuggle people in to Ukraine to fight on behalf of the war efforts there.
Nice.
I saw pictures of him cutting the grass in Independence Square in Ukraine with scissors because he's so committed to defending Ukraine. Ryan Wesley Routh looks like Egon from the Ghostbusters a little bit. His son seems to be as insanely radicalized as he is. I forget which news outlet he said. Basically, saying of his dad, he hates President Trump the same way all right-thinking people do, suggesting that he's just a martyr. He was out there doing the right thing on behalf of all the other people who hate him.
Well, I can't explain that smug look on his face. I'm sure he's going to get some serious prison time. One would hope that be the case. But Sheila, there's less than 2 months to go before the U.S. federal election. And I am so concerned about the attempts on this man's life and how it's just being brushed over. Like you said, in 36 hours, it was the what attempt on Trump? They'll be changing the channel on this. Butler, Pennsylvania was almost immediately forgotten. And worse, you had commentators saying that Trump was ginning this up. Did you see the oversized Band-Aid he got put on his ear?
Right.
I mean,
I saw
on.
somebody say, "Oh, but look, no ears were hurt in the this latest attempted assassination attempt." I see the LA Times is out there with their telling us who the real victims are, although I guess they're just quoting directly from President Biden, who seems to have come to life. They dusted him off and dragged him out of the crypt for this one. They reanimated his corpse so that he could give a statement. He says that the Secret Service needs more help because the real victims are the Secret Service here and not the fact that President Trump was almost killed twice now, almost shot dead twice now. The Secret Service, they're the ones who need more help. I don't know, Biden. I hope you find the guy in charge so that we can level up the Secret Service detail on President Trump. I hope you find that guy.
Yeah, and I would argue whatever Secret Service detail goes around with Sleepy Joe, it should be double on Trump, but it's not. You don't get the same level as even an ex-president that might be the future president. And this is the person who we've seen in, as you said, 64 days, 2 serious attempts on his life. And for the mainstream media to dismiss this and even double down, I think it was CNN, don't quote me, it was one of the mainstream media outlets. There was a panel discussion, and this was the cockamamie idea that came up for discussion. Do you know, if we took white people out of the equation, this would be a landslide victory for Kamala Harris. Can you imagine, right? These are the people that are supposed to be so race-obsessed. And that is one of the lines, because you see, the connection is, Sheila, it's only white supremacists that want Trump in office. He would be their champion for white supremacy when all the facts in Trump's political and business career paint the exact opposite picture. So just absolutely despicable what we've seen, the attempt. And now the what I think is a cover-up and the media so-called coverage. And I just fear for this man's safety, Sheila.
Oh, I know. And the media will the motives are unclear. They keep saying the motives are unclear. I don't know, 19 donations to the Democrats and just a wild obsession with Putin and Ukraine, and then with the Democrat media last week saying, it was nothing but Putin, Putin, Putin. The Republicans are actively advocating on behalf of Putin. That's all you heard in the mainstream press. And they've radicalized this guy. Even worse, I think. I think he was probably a radical in his own right. But the liberal rhetoric about everybody being a Russian operative, I think really might have pushed this guy right over the edge.
No, and Sheila, that's a very important point, because when it comes to, tone down the rhetoric, what rhetoric is that? Comparing Trump to a dictator, comparing Trump to Hitler, as has been, just Google Trump Hitler comparisons. You won't believe how many come up in mainstream US media. When you compare Trump to Hitler, even worse, Trump to Satan. Trump is the great devil, you see. You have demonized this man. And so you have the likes of this person hooking, taking the bait, hook, line, and stinker. And actually, I think, Sheila, that person and his ilk, they are so delusional. They are so hardcore in their hatred. I truly believe that they think if they could have pulled off an assassination of Donald Trump, they will be lauded as a hero. I think that's what's in their minds. They have been so indoctrinated, once again, by the useful idiots in the mainstream media. There is so much blame to go around on this file, I think.
I completely agree. On the flip side, Vladimir Zelensky is glad to hear that Donald Trump is safe and unharmed. So that's according to The Guardian today. And it sounds like even though this guy was trying to recruit people for the war effort, a representative from Ukraine's Foreign Legion, which is where the foreign nationals come to help Ukraine in their war effort, said that the suspect had contacted them online multiple times, saying he was offering us large numbers of recruits from different countries, but it was obvious to us that his offers were not realistic. We didn't even answer, they said. There was nothing to answer to. He was never part of the Legion and didn't cooperate with us in any way.
What a loser.
Absolutely. Just a loser. I saw online that he was trying to recruit Afghan nationals who have just, I think, probably been through quite a war of their own and probably should be rebuilding their own country to go fight on behalf of the war effort in Ukraine. That's what this guy was up to.
Yeah, but then again, Sheila, I can see the logic there. Biden a couple of years ago left behind $64 billion of state-of-the-art military hardware. So I think the Afghans...
Yeah, they might have something.
Yeah.
They might have some
Now
help.
we have something to shoot at. Yeah, count us in. How much you paying?
Yeah. Yes.